Peace, what's happening, good people? This gift here for Payusnomind, and today we're comparing Submithub to Playlist Push. Now, both of these are companies that are supposed to simplify the process of submitting your music to playlist creators and getting your music playlisted. Now, Submithub is different from Playlist Push in the sense that they allow you to submit to much more than just Spotify playlist creators. They allow you to submit to blogs, people who have YouTube channels, Instagram influencers, all of these different things. So it's not like you have to use one or the other. You can actually use both, one for playlist consideration with Spotify and the other for everything else. But if you are just looking at Spotify and getting playlisted on Spotify, then you have to choose between Submithub and Playlist Push. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today and taking a look at today. So let's dig in, y'all. Right now, the first thing, like I was saying before, Submithub allows you to pick between more things, right? So you got bloggers, playlists, the playlisters, influencers, SoundCloud, YouTube, radio stations, and we'll get to when you should do this and everything like that in a minute, right? But the main difference between the two is that Submithub allows you to see who you're submitting to and pick who you want to submit to. So they have all of this stuff, right? They have for you to be able to basically dig in. So you select your genres, the genres of music you feel like you fit, or the audiences you want to target, alternative R&B, whatever have you, neo soul, and then they queue up a whole bunch of playlists, and you can kind of like key in and say, I want them to have a Spotify playlist, or have listeners on Hype Machine. This is more for blogs, right? But you say has a Spotify playlist, and that queues up everybody that has a Spotify playlist. Now, the Spotify playlisters that are queued up, Submithub tells you whether they're charging a lot of money or whether they're charging the most amount, right? So it's like you got these dollar symbols here that tells you how many credits you have to spend to submit to them, and we'll get to what credits are in a minute. It tells you how many pitches they received and their approval rating, like how often do they actually choose to playlist anything. You have a level of influence rank, you have a quality score that's based on their activity on Submithub, whether they listen to songs on Submithub, whether they review songs on Submithub, and whether they agree to playlist anything from the pictures that they get on Submithub. And then you got genre match, right? And that's how they kind of break it down. So it's with Submithub, it's on you to do the research. Basically, you have to go through all of these playlists, look at, whether they have a quality score, go to their actual profile and look at what songs they playlisted to see if not only are they playlisting songs for your genre, but if they're playlisting songs from artists that fit your particular style, right? So with Submithub, it's more work involved. It's more demanding. Now, with Playlist Push, you're not shown the individual playlist that your music is being submitted to. Playlist Push just gives you a number of playlists that your music is going to be submitted to. They don't tell you what playlist or which playlist your music is going to be submitted to. So that's one thing that separates the two of them. One tells you which platforms or really allows you to pick which individual playlist creators you want to submit your music to. The other one just bundles a bunch of playlists together, or Playlist Push bundles a bunch of playlists together and submits to them. Now, why that can be good and bad is this, right? For the creator, on the creator end, it can be bad because people take stuff personally. Artists are sensitive. and they submit, and somebody says, this isn't my cup of tea, or yo, here's what you need to fix. People get upset, start harassing people on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and being nasty with them and things like that. So that can impact things in the sense that people might be like a bigger playlist creator, or some playlist creators might be not so open to using something that exposes them like that and puts them in the line of danger, so to speak, right? Because like I said, people take stuff personally and can get crazy with it. So for the creators, and I don't know if it's the best thing. Now people might look at playlist push and say, why are they not showing us the playlist creators? But that's probably a big reason why, to keep from the playlist creator getting harassed by the artists that they reject. The other aspect of it, right, is the payment for the playlist creator, right? Matter of fact, let me come back to me. Now, back to me. That's the other aspect of it. The payment for the playlist creator. Submithub pays their creators about 50 cents for every review they do. Every review, Submithub reviewer reviews, right? Every submission they review and listen to, they get paid 50 cents. That's it. 50 cents to listen to the song, write a review of the song, possibly playlist the song. They make 50 cents and that's it. Playlist push, their creators can make up to $12 for every song they review, because they have basically an incentivized system that doesn't just stop at the person listening to the song and playlisting it. It's built on a lot of other different things. So they actually have it set up where there's mountains to climb for people to earn more. And we can take a look at that now. So they have a score that they give the people that playlist on their platform. Now they start off with a base score. They say your base score starts at 0 and increases each time you receive an artist compliment. So every time an artist says something nice about a playlist creator, they get points. Not reviewing a song. If you do not review a song before it expires, you will be deducted reputation score points. This means that if you do not review a song within 2 weeks from receiving it, you will lose base score points. Receiving an artist compliment. Base score points will be gained each time you receive a compliment from an artist. Artists can submit compliments or complaints via their campaign results page. These points are given to encourage creators to write thoughtful and helpful reviews. Playlist score details. Each playlist you manage receives its own playlist score. The playlist score equals the active monthly listeners for the playlist multiplied by 10. For example, if the playlist has 200 active listeners, your playlist score will be 2,000. Playlist push accesses actual Spotify listener data for your playlist and calculates the active monthly listeners for each of your playlists. So they're not just looking for, you know, people who will listen to the song and just write anything. They want them to write actual thoughtful reviews that are helpful to the artist. They want their playlist to actually be active and not just be dormant. So that's not something that it seems that Submithub is checking for. Submithub is just looking more so towards how the creators interact with the people on the platform. So if they listen and they write a review and you're pleased with the review, or even if you're not, because they're not really giving you much wiggle room in responding, right? Then that playlist creator gets paid and that's the end of it. Playlist push incentivizes it and says, okay, if you review and listen, if you will listen and write a review, all right. But if you write a good review and you get good reactions from the people you're writing reviews of, even better. You make more money. If you have a playlist and that playlist has people actually listening to it, great, you make more money, right? So it's playlist creators that you know has people that are listening to their music, and you know that they're going to write reviews that are thoughtful and everything like that. So that to me is a better system. right? Now, the other aspect of it is targeting, right? Now, with playlist push, you can input your basically your Spotify URL. You input your Spotify URL, and it can pull up all of the artists that Spotify has identified as similar to you, and gauge and basically identify the genres that those artists fit, and then identify the playlist that playlist songs from those genres. So they operate like that. Submithub, it doesn't work like that. It's you picking the genres that you feel your music fit, and then picking the playlist creators you want to submit your music to, the individual playlist creators you want to submit your music to, so that's the way it works with them. That's different from a playlist push. Now, some people might favor this whole picking what you want, but to me it seems strange in the sense that the point of doing this is to not have to spend the time doing the research, because you don't have to pay anybody if you want to spend the time doing the research. You don't have to pay playlist push. You don't have to pay Submithub. If you're willing, you can go to Chartmetric, you can go to Hype Machine, and you can pull up playlist creators and find who playlist music similar to yours, and hunt down their contact information and reach out to them and everything like that, without going through this whole process of paying for it, right? If that's what you want to do, if you want to do the research, you don't have to you don't have to pay anybody for it. So to me, doing the research and doing all the work yourself and paying for it doesn't make, a world of sense. You save a little bit of money. I mean, you save a little bit of time rather, but I don't know how much time you're actually saving. Now, the other thing is cost, right? Now Submithub operates through credits. You see here, 5 credits for $6, 10 credits for $10, 30 credits for $27, 100 credits for $80, right? So let's say we operating on $6 a credit. You could get, for $100, you could get your song on 33 playlists with Submithub, right? Now, 33 playlists, you see here with Billy, 35 playlists with Billy for playlist push would cost us $317. So $100 would get you on the same amount of playlists with Submithub, or get you submitted to, I'm not going to say get you on, but allow you to submit to the same amount of playlists on Submithub as you would be able to submit your music to with playlist push, but for way less money. With playlist push, is costing you 3 times as much practically. Now, the cost is one thing, because the cost shouldn't be a turnoff when it comes to quality. And that's the main thing. You're looking not just for the ability to be able to submit to as many playlists as possible. You're looking for the ability to get on playlists that are actually going to drive listeners and streams of your music, and to get on playlists that actually has some degree of influence, and to actually get playlisted, right? So yeah, Submithub, it might be more affordable for you to submit your music to, but at the same time, there might be less of a likelihood that your song is actually going to be playlisted, because they're not incentivizing anybody playlisting anything. It's just, you listen to the song, you write a little review, and you get 50 cents. Where playlist push has these tiers and this infrastructure set up that incentivize people to listen, review, playlist, get those songs heard, so you're probably more likely to not only get playlisted with playlist push, but also get streams from the playlist that your music get playlisted on through playlist push. Whereas with Submithub, that's not such not only a guarantee, but even a possibility, right? And that's probably why you have a lot of people that complain about Submithub, where they say, hey, I submitted my music and I got nothing. Now it is, basically a matter of music being subjective, and everybody has what they like, and you're not guaranteed to get placements on any of them, but you just want to basically uh increase your chances by using the one that's gonna give you a better possibility of getting the result that you want. And I think that will probably be playlist push. Now, going back to the other things that Submithub offer with the blogs and the radio stations and things of that nature, I think with those things, bloggers are looking for basically cross promotion. Radio stations too, cross promotion. You have an audience, I expose you to my audience, your audience comes to my blog too, equal exchange. So submitting to them without an audience, it's not gonna be likely to be received favorably. They're not gonna respond, by playlist, by blogging about your song or playing it on their station. And the bloggers that do and the radio stations that do tend to be people who just want to show love to indies, and they be blogging about and playing basically every song from indies, right? Their approval rating might be through the roof, and they don't really have anybody listening to them or reading their blog, which is like, it's ineffective. So using a playlist push to get the streams and to get the playlists and to kind of like build up, your reputation, and then going back and submitting for the blogs and submitting to the stations could be, an effective way to operate rather than just submitting to blogs and whatnot there, so there is that element of it too. Now, again, if I'm using a platform, I would prefer to use a playlist push over a Submithub. And also, again, there are no guarantees that your music is going to be playlisted with either platform. It's just increasing your chances. So if you've ever used playlist push or Submithub or both, please comment, give people your experience, tell people what it was like, tell people what you favor. Would you use Submithub or playlist push, and why? Have you used them, and what was your experience like? Share with the community. You guys can always reach out to me, real_Payusnomind on Instagram, @Payusnomind on Twitter, payusnomind@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel, and then click the bell icon if you have not do that, so you can get notified the next time we upload a video or go live or do what we do. This is Gift signing off. Pay us no mind. Peace, good people. One.